What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're talking about things that could and have gone wrong in the new construction world and what you could do to potentially avoid those things. Spoiler alert here. If you want to know the end of the story, go ahead, hire an agent to represent you in the build of your new construction home. You will save yourself a lot of headache and a lot of time. But let's go ahead and dive in. I'm guessing that was on camera. All right, so let's dive into thing number one that can and most likely will happen in new construction, and that's delays in the process. Anytime you're building a home, there's so many places that the process has to go through, from permitting to material to subcontractors, that you can definitely expect that you're going to run into delays. Now, you can expect anywhere from a week delay to, we've seen clients with a year and a half delay. Obviously, those are major differences and affect you in many different ways. And there's really nothing that you can do to solve a delay in construction. When it happens, it's going to happen, and there's really nothing you can do. But to safeguard yourself and safeguard your financial stability, go ahead and consider a long-term rate lock option. For example, people who went under contract in late 2021 or early 2022 to build a home were expecting that they would close on that home when interest rates were at 3.5%, 4%. Unfortunately, when the home was completed in October of 2022, rates had skyrocketed to over 7%, causing a huge problem for them, right? That's a huge difference in your affordability of the home. And many people had to walk away from non-refundable money because they simply just could not or would not afford the home anymore. Go ahead and lock in your interest rate using what's called a long-term lock with a float down option. What this means is that you could go ahead and lock in at today's interest rate, let's call it 7%. Let's say you close 10 months from now. You can float down to the new rate if rates have fallen. But if rates have risen, you're already capped at the market rate when you locked in 10 months ago. This can save you a lot of headache and a lot of money, and it provides a huge upside opportunity to you as well if rates were to fall. So if you are going to build a new home in 2024, I would highly suggest considering a long-term rate lock with a float down option. All right, so the second thing that could end up being a nightmare scenario is if you're building a brand new home and you get to select all the options and the builder sends you to the pretty design center. This is where I see a lot of time price increases more than we were expecting. So here's a few thoughts. First off, going into the build of a new construction home, if you're going to have the ability to make your selections of all the items that go into the home, from countertops to cabinets to flooring, all of your options, if you're going to have that, I would expect somewhere between 8 to 12% of the original price of the home. So if your original price was $500,000, I would say expect to spend about 10% of that at the design center. So you might end up at $550,000. But the way that this can turn into a nightmare scenario is if you go into the design center and you start going crazy, right? Options become things that you didn't even know you wanted, but became a must-have, right? And you make those selections and the price starts increasing. If you make too many selections that increase your price so high that your home will not appraise because you've made more selections than anyone else in the entire neighborhood. So let's go back to that $500,000 house. If you stay within that $550,000 range, probably fine, right? But let's say you added $100,000 or $125,000 in options. Now you're at $600,000 to $625,000. If the home does not appraise for that, you're going to be required by the builder to make up the difference between that purchase price of $600,000 and whatever the home appraises for, causing you huge financial strain to come up with that difference. The way to avoid this is go into the design center with a budget in mind and stick to that budget hard, and make sure you tell the design center staff who's helping you make selections what your budget is and where you want to be. They can really help guide you. They're not there to upsell you. They are there to guide you, make selections, and help you stay within your budget. If you have an agent, make sure you tell them what your budget is and make sure you give them permission to hold you accountable to that budget. Give them the ability to look at this from a third party and help you stay accountable. All right, so our third horror story, and kind of some advice up front here. Don't be afraid to walk away. So we've seen situations where buyers have gone under contract at $600,000. The builder decided they need to move more product. They lowered the price to $500,000. Now that first buyer is in over the comparable homes in the neighborhood by $100,000. Well, if you only have $25,000 at risk, would you consider walking away and losing your $25,000? While that may hurt, it's better than being in over your head by $100,000 compared to your neighbor for the same exact house. And of course, there's options out there. Could you just come back and buy one of the same home for the $500,000 price instead of the $600,000 price that you are set to pay? What we're getting at here is that while it may hurt to walk away and while it may hurt to lose some non-refundable money, don't be afraid to. You have the ability to do it, and don't get stuck in a situation where you buy a home just because you had some non-refundable money at stake. That money is there for a reason, and that reason is to give you the option to walk away should something go wrong during the build process. Another reason that somebody may consider walking away from some non-refundable money is if they're just not getting what they thought that they were going to get. Everybody kind of goes into a situation expecting one thing, and then if you can't walk through it, if you can't see the home until it's built, and then it starts being built, and there's just certain things about it that you can't live with or you're not willing to live with, as bad as it may seem, it may be worth just walking away. So for example, say you decide to build a home and life changes and now all of a sudden you need a first floor primary bedroom and this home that you're building only has a second floor primary bedroom. Well, again, I wouldn't make the investment into this home with the option that I'm gonna have to sell it in a year because I need that first floor primary bedroom. Life changes, and yes, nobody wants to lose the non-refundable money, but again, just the transaction cost of selling a home alone is expensive. And so I'm not sure that I personally would be willing to make an investment into a home that's not gonna work for me long term. So how can you solve this? I think the most important thing is to have an agent with you that understands the new construction process, understands what questions to ask, but most importantly, can help you step away from the emotional side of the process and the emotional thinking that you may have during a build process and help you think about this rationally, both financially and for your future. Our next nightmare is not understanding the warranty that you're getting with your new home. Getting work done under a warranty is always a tough process. And yes, there are some builders out there who have a fabulous warranty process, jump on things for you and get it done quickly. But the negative side to this that we've seen is people go in, they close on a home expecting that certain items are going to be under warranty, and they're not. They move in accepting the home in the condition that it's in, and they don't do a final walkthrough or a preliminary walkthrough with their agent and really pick out the items that need fixing, that need some love, that need some help. They need the contractor to come back, but they accept the home in its as-is condition. They close and they just go, well, I'll just have the warranty process completed on the home. The issue is they don't fully understand the warranty process, and now all of a sudden the issue that they thought was covered by a warranty was not. An easy example of this is painting. Painting, most of the time for most builders, is not under warranty. The day you close is the paint job you're gonna get. So if you don't walk your home prior to closing and go, I really need the painters to come back and touch up these 20 areas of the home, and then you call the builder the day after you close and ask them to have the painter back, some of them are gonna tell you no, you missed your opportunity. And look, I don't want to put all builders in the same basket, right? There are some who are fabulous, and even if it wasn't part of their warranty process, would have the painter come back and take care of that for you. But there are some out there, and the number of them is growing, who will not do that. So what you need to do, and the best way to solve this problem, is to have an agent who understands the new construction process and can help you identify the issues that may or may not be under warranty and what items are best to have completed prior to closing on your home and what items may be okay to wait until after closing. But this is a huge deal and something that I would definitely consider and think about before closing on a new home. The other problem with warranties is that there's a lot of fine print involved, and builders want to fight you on everything, especially if it's a big ticket item. Again, this is another reason an agent can be a huge help for you. We had clients who had some major structural issues to their home a few years after they moved in. These issues were covered by the warranty, but when they submitted the issues to the builder tried to push them off and play them off and say that it wasn't covered under warranty. They called us, and luckily we were able to jump in and help them with this and help find an attorney for them to help take care of this issue. And ultimately, the builder did come back and resolve the issue. But again, a lot of times builders have these fine print in the warranty and they try to rely on that to not get the work done for you. And you need someone on your side who understands that process and who can help you understand it and best fight for you. All right, another issue in new construction that we see, and we don't see it as much here in Wake County, but we do see it in some of our surrounding and smaller counties, is if you're gonna build a custom home with a builder, I would highly recommend understanding the financial wherewithal of that builder. And so why do I say this? A few years ago in Lee County, which is just 30 minutes outside of Wake County, a builder was accepting money from his clients to build their home. The issue is that he was not paying the subcontractors who were actually doing the work. He was keeping the money for himself and funding his own lifestyle. Well, eventually the subcontractors stopped showing up, and all of a sudden these clients had a brand new home that had been framed and had plumbing roughed in, electrical roughed in, mechanical roughed in, and no one would come to the home because the builder was not paying people. Then all of a sudden, as you may have guessed, the builder was nowhere to be found. Unfortunately, it cost them a lot of money to get through that legal process. Ultimately, they were able to settle and get some money back from the builder, and they were able to build their dream home. But I can assure you that one of the most important things when building with a custom builder is when you give them money for certain invoices, make sure that you're seeing those invoices, understanding what they're for, and that the subcontractors performing work on your home are being paid by the builder. Just to clarify that story, by the way, we weren't the agent representing them when they were building the home. We came in to help them sell the home after it had finally been completed. The best way that an agent can help you with this is to be in constant contact with the builder, understanding what's going on and understanding and making sure that all of his bills are being paid and being paid in a timely fashion. Look, this video is not to deter you from new construction. In fact, I think new construction in the Triangle market is one of the best options out there and something I would definitely consider, especially moving into 2024. But the moral of the story is that things can happen, and most likely they will happen. Again, you never know what it could be. It could be small and minor, or it could be a major issue. Either way, you need someone on your side representing you, looking out for your best interests, and you need someone who truly understands the process. Don't hire an agent who's never represented someone in the build of a new home. They're not going to understand the process. Thanks for watching. And again, remember, we are real estate agents. We do understand new construction extremely well. Our contact info is below. We appreciate you watching. We'll talk to you soon.